This is me, Alyssa Maurer. Age 24. Well, I mean, most of these are just clips from my past. Some of them are happy moments, some of them are pensive, some of them are even from my adventures abroad, like in Brazil, like this one. And yeah, don't even think about that one.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. I ain't no size 2, but I can shake it like I'm supposed to do.
But I guess these are my memories. These are documentations, figments of myself. And, well, I guess that I should probably give you the real thing.
It's all about me. It's all about me.
I guess to understand me, you must go to my hometown, where I'm from, which is a little tiny town called Duncansville, Pennsylvania, where only antique malls, dirt malls, and local grocery stores exist. And we even have street names. And we're extremely Irish. And all the signs are named after really weird Irish names, like Killarney, Blarney, Waterford. Yeah, they're all weird names, and that's where my mom and my dad live. So I can get these baby pictures for you folks. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing here, so I just gotta drive home to get it. And here we are. Alyssa Maurer, born October 5th, 1994. I was a big baby. And I was also the second baby of the family. That's my dad with my older sister Danielle, who, by the way, actually named me. I don't know why she picked Alyssa. I mean, to really think about it, it's the worst artist name that you could possibly think of, and there's so many Alyssas. In fact, there was another Alyssa Maurer in my high school. We actually used to have to communicate with each other whenever we'd have our state assessments because teachers would always get us mixed up. Me and my sister were pretty close. I mean, she was technically the oldest, and so she had 5 years ahead of me. And then Carly came along, and what was once 2 now became 3 sisters of the traveling pants, yada, yada, yada. And I became the glue of the family. What's worse, though, is that me and my younger sister were actually 17 months apart, so we tended to get grouped together, and we did look a lot alike. We looked a lot alike. God dang it. Wow, why can't I freaking pronounce anything? Crap. This is really hard. All right. Anyway, moving forward. So other things sort of captivated my interest. Like I got into video games and I loved playing in what my dad called the dungeon. It was actually just the basement in our house, which had a PlayStation 2 and a television, which if you're a nerd you just got to do these sort of things, you know? You just got to play your games. And I became fascinated with this idea of adventure, and a lot of the characters in these simulations and these video games had adventures, and they had a purpose, and I felt purposeless, and I was also struggling with an eating disorder. So I thought that it would be a great idea to, do a foreign exchange program whenever I was 15 years old. But yeah, I picked up the culture, and I spent some time there. I got sent home early. What had happened was my eating disorder had progressed, had developed anorexia nervosa, bulimia. It was just, basically my host family had noticed that I was throwing up and was like, hey, this isn't cool. She's not good. So they sent me home early. Here's the thing about culture shock is it's both ways. It's whenever you go to the place that you're going to stay for an extended period of time, and then it's whenever you come back. That's gone again. So, your comfort level has shifted. You were comfortable doing certain things. You're comfortable being a foreigner in a place for an extended period of time. And then you learn body language, culture, and language. And you come back, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I guess I was still thinking that it would be there. But it wasn't. And the kids at my school sort of created rumors about me that ended up ruining my friendships. And I was alone. It wasn't even just that I isolated myself, it was that everyone around me seemed to have isolated me. And it was everything. It was, I heard she was fucking her host brother, or I heard that she's pregnant, or I heard she did drugs. And kids are cruel. Kids are so cruel. It wasn't easy. Along with the PTSD, my grades sort of plummeted until I went to a psychotherapist. I don't know how she explained it exactly, but PTSD can actually cause certain psychological mental diseases to arise. The trauma that I had gone through had actually manifested ADD, which, if you don't know, is attention deficit disorder. And it's like, basically, I can't really sit and be motivated for a continual amount of time. It's like, I just want to eat Doritos and sit on the couch and be a potato. Yeah, and then once I got the medication, everything sort of, made a turnaround, and my grades soared back up, and I was completely fine. Still, the friend problem was an issue. So I sort of resorted to being friends with people at my workplace at Panera Bread. Until that sort of went really weird. I ended up being in this weird love triangle with my manager at the time and some other chick, and then we ended up doing a lot of drugs and, just, and then also with the eating disorder on top of it, like, I put my family through hell, and I'm still to this day trying to earn their trust back, because I would just disappear and they would not know where I went, and I would come home high or drunk, and it was awful. I did all that, and one by one, each of them fell, and I was sort of alone again. And then I resorted to the internet. So I resorted to Tiny Chat and online spaces like MySpace and Tumblr. And there's this whole thing where I sent $700 to some guy in Kuwait to try to save him from being in jail. And it ended up that he was just using that money to buy Marilyn Manson tickets. Yeah, I'm happy I messed up as many times as I did, because, there's really no reason to mess up in those areas ever again. And at one point I had made a relationship with a guy who was from California, originally from Alaska, and I convinced him to move in to my parents' house and live in my basement without them knowing. And it lasted for about 2 weeks until my mom found a condom in the shower. If there's anything I've learned in my past 23 years of existence on this earth, it's that life has a sense of humor. Karma is gonna beat you down until your ass is like hamburger meat. I don't know. I love life. I think that it's freaking awesome that I'm alive. That's for granted. But, and I have so many awesome friends, and I'm at a school, doing what I'm passionate about, which is cool. Now, I live on Mount Washington in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I have a wonderful boyfriend. I have an amazing cat named Calcifer. And if you don't know where that name came from, it actually came from a Studio Ghibli movie named Howl's Moving Castle. It's actually named after the fire demon. But he was adopted. He's awesome. And I live with my two roommates, Julian and Jenna, who are amazing. It's a creative atmosphere. And I want nothing more than to just go about life and see where it takes me, because so far it's been a pretty rockin' boat, and I'm on to get on land and hop on a roller coaster.